Hello everyone and welcome to Wrestling Ramblings. I'm your host Terry Speller, the Wrestling Superfan. So yeah, it's WrestleMania weekend and that long road will come to an end and then restart again Monday like nothing ever happened. But hey ho, this is WWE. It's been confirmed that the Rattlesnake Stone Cold Steve Austin will be at Mania, but in what context is anyone's guess. I do know The Rock will be there though. Wouldn't it be awesome if stick Orton versus Batista at the beginning of the show, and then stick Rock versus Austin at the end for old time's sake? Me personally would love that, but this is only if Daniel Bryan doesn't make it to the main event, which we'll get to that later. Now, last week I talked about how the build to the Undertaker versus Lesnar match was all a bit one-sided, a little bit dull, and a little bit meh. Well, I have heard, and this is quoted, Vince McMahon made the decision that during the build towards The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30, Undertaker would not be touched by Lesnar. The feeling backstage in WWE is that Vince changed his mind for the better on Raw this week, as he finally had Lesnar get the upper hand on Undertaker. Many backstage in WWE feel Lesnar should have been booked to be a much bigger threat to the streak at WrestleMania, and it's being said that back in 2010 when a Taker-Lesnar feud was being discussed, there was talk of having Lesnar actually end the streak. I will touch on that later, and we all know my thoughts from last week's show. However, wouldn't it be fantastic if people in WWE listened to my show last week and took notes? But a guy can dream. But if anyone from WWE is listening, then hire my Fantastic Four. Or at least give them a tryout. Either way, would be a win. Random thought. Anyone else realise and remember that TNA's Kenny King, who I'm not really a fan of, was in the final four of WWE's Tough Enough series, but lost, then became a stripper? Little bit fact, just in case anyone didn't know that. Right, the custom, almost every podcast at the moment online, and I will now go through, as is the custom, of every podcast that's online at the moment, as it's WrestleMania weekend. I will now go through the match card and my thoughts and predictions for WrestleMania. Number 1, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Your winner, I feel, will be Sheamus. For no other reason, as he's set to feud with Batista after WrestleMania, and this would be a good push for him to come off of. However, personally, I would like to see the Big Show win. The reason for that is, if my memory serves, it's in memory of the greatest giant that ever was, Andre the Giant, and Big Show is a close second. He's a great big man and probably will go down just as in history as the next Andre the Giant. Plus, if I remember, when he debuted for WCW back in the day, he was billed as Andre's nephew or son, I seem to remember. So it would be a nice little tip of the hat to Andre the Giant, and also tip of the hat to Big Show and his roots and where he came from. P.S. He isn't Andre the Giant's nephew or son. It was all a gimmick. Number 2 is the 6-man tag match. The Shield versus Kane and the New Age Outlaws. If you're looking at this podcast and watching it while I'm talking to you, you'll see the picture. Is it just me, or does Kane and the New Age Outlaws really look their age now? Especially Kane. He doesn't look good without a shirt. Anyway, if Triple H is booking this, then the old timers will win. But if this happens, it will be because of miscommunication within the Shield, leading to the so talked about soon-to-be breakup of the group. And a sad day that will be. If they win, fantastic. If they lose, that's kind of how I see it going. Match 3 is the Vicky Guerrero Diva Championship Invitational. Toilet break, and AJ wins just because, well, let's be honest, swing. Match 4, The Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. Taker wins, standard brawl fair, we have all come to expect from this kind of match once a year. He'll be hard to get to his feet. They might embrace, shake hands, usual stuff. It'll be a hard fought battle, blah de blah de blah, usual shtick. If Lesnar wins, it'll be a complete outrage because the guy doesn't deserve it. He's a part-timer, and there's no logic or reason for him to do it. Well, sorry, there is logic because Brock Lesnar is a badass who could beat the crap out of everyone. But in storyline context, there's no real need for it, really, I don't think. Match 4, John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Yay, Cena is not in the main event and not in the championship contendership or running or has a championship for the first time in ages. And for the first time also, it's a John Cena match I want to see. But pretty much just because of Bray Wyatt. I think Cena will win just to make the kids happy. But it will be in a way that will make Bray Wyatt look good. It will be a big match. Lots of Bray Wyatt dominating, John Cena, attitude adjustment at the end, 1, 2, 3, the win, that's it. But in the process, it'll make Bray Wyatt look good. And to be perfectly honest, it doesn't take much to make Bray Wyatt look good. Match 6, I would say Triple H versus Daniel Bryan. We all want Daniel to win. It has to be. It must happen. It would make zero sense for it to be a free heel main event. But this is Triple H, and it is felt inside WWE that he won't put over the smaller guy and make himself look weak. What I think might go down here is they will have a good match, but Triple H will get the beat down on Bryan to the point that the ref DQs him. Triple H will get DQ'd by the ref, causing Bryan to win by default and go on to the main event. Triple H will be livid and go nuts and maybe beat up Bryan more and just get dragged out by refs and authority people, and just, officials will just drag him out, and that will be the end. The main event will start, but Bryan won't be part of it at the beginning. And this leads me to match 7. Batista versus Orton versus Bryan, I think. Like I said, it would be the standard bore fest with just Batista and Orton for the most part. Until near the end, when I think a beaten Bryan returns. And he will be the real underdog. Also, it will be logical as the other two would have beaten each other up, and they won't look weak getting attacked by a smaller guy who's just been in a war with one of the biggest names in WWE at the moment. Anyway, they will all hit their finishers, the usual standard stuff, and it will all be on the line. But I think it will come down to Orton tapping in the yes lock, while Batista is trying to get to his feet or get into the ring from the outside. A bit like WrestleMania 20, at the end with HBK versus Triple H and He Who Must Not Be Named. So yeah, I think that's how it's going to go for the main event. It would make more sense that way in my brain, I think. You've got... They keep making a big deal of Bryan being the smaller guy. In all fairness, even visually, Bryan is the smaller guy out of Orton and Batista. It's kind of Orton... was it Orton, Angle, Rey Mysterio? Rey Mysterio wins. This way, however, because Bryan is much better than Mysterio ever was and ever will be, and he can just wrestle till the cows come home. And there's no question about that. But I do genuinely think that they will do it in such a way that Bryan will get beaten to crap out of by Triple H. Triple H will get disqualified. So Triple H hasn't technically lost, hasn't been pinned, hasn't submitted, gets to look strong, gets to look mean, gets to look bullyish, and still be a heel. At the same time, it gives the fans what they want to see, and that's Bryan in the main event. Plus, it gives a chance for Bryan to do what he does best and do the comebacks. And I think that's how it will probably go, and I think that will probably work out and look better, and logically how it will probably go. This is all speculation. This is all what's going on in my head. It would be great if Orton just destroys Triple H and then goes steamroll straight into the main event, and the main event is epic. Actually, no, I'd want In all fairness, I think they should just make up for past wrongs and have basically Bryan turn up after destroying Triple H, get in the ring, the bell rings, he hits a running knee to Orton, a running knee to Batista, pins, and the match is over within 10 seconds, and he gets some semblance of revenge for the Sheamus versus him debacle at previous WrestleMania. So yeah, they're my picks. Now on to Southwest stuff. Now, I'm sorry to say that the LEP show on April 12th that I was supposed to be part of has been cancelled, which sucks. I'm not sure of the circumstances, or I think it was something to do about a double booking on the venue's part. I'm not sure. I don't know. Either way, it sucks that they've had to cancel the April 12th show. However, there is a silver lining here. LEP are doing 2 shows at the Riviera Bay Holiday Park on Tuesday the 8th of April and Tuesday the 15th of April. And to make up for it, and this is fantastic, it's going to be free entry for both shows. Free entry to see LEP live. That is fantastic. Go to www.lepwrestling.co.uk for all the information you need and the postcode and address of where the Riviera Bay Holiday Park is. On the 18th of April, Ultimate Pro Wrestling make their debut at the Riviera Hotel in Weymouth, Dorset. Tickets are £7 for adults and £5 for children. Go to their Facebook page for more details at www.facebookpage.com/Ultimate Pro Wrestling. That promises to be a great first debut show. The Weymouth, the Riviera Hotel is a nice venue, and it's probably going to have a great atmosphere, and they look like they're really putting all out for this show. Pro Wrestling Chaos have an event at the Felton Community Centre in Bristol on the 12th of April and have a huge triple threat main event. Go to www.prowrestlingchaos.co.uk for more details. That triple threat match looks really, really good, and that promises to be a good show, full stop. Pro Evolution Wrestling have a show also on the 12th of April coming from Cheltenham, Gloucester. Confirmed for the show are the Hunter Brothers as well as the Alpha Males, Justin Hammer Sizem, and the powerhouse that is Dave Mastiff. Go to www.proevowrestling.com for all your information and ticket prices. Now, there is the massive PWA show coming on May the 4th. Tickets are already selling fast, and already the front 2 rows have sold out. So yes, the front row's gone. You can't get front row tickets anymore. They have gone. The only way you're going to get a front row ticket to this is if people are peddling them on the outside. You need to get tickets for this show fast before all the tickets go. And to just to add a little bit, just a snippet, a tiny little morsel of what's the word? Just to make it a little bit more worth your while to get this tickets to this show. If you buy tickets to see PWA on May the 4th, there is DevCon, a convention going on beforehand, which is a sci-fi comic convention that's going to have cosplay, it's going to have stalls, everything. If you get tickets to see the PWA show, you can get in to see the convention beforehand free. It's part of the ticket, people. If you get the ticket, you can spend a whole day in Plymouth at this convention, and then after you've been at the convention seeing cosplayers and everything like that, you can then see the biggest wrestling show that's going to be happening in the Southwest. What's not to like, and why wouldn't you buy tickets to this? And just to add another tiny morsel of information of why you might want to go and see tickets, if going to the convention for free as well as for the ticket price, as well as seeing the show, you've also got TNA superstars Gunner and James Storm wrestling, and then you've got PJ Jones, you've got the Shark Chris Andrews, you've got Richard Wolseley, you've got the UK Dominator versus the Soldier Boy Steve Prince. This is all happening on this one show, and And if that's not enough, you've got the voice of Duke Nukem himself, John St. John, doing special guest announcing. Yeah, this show is going to blow everything off the charts beforehand. If you want to get tickets, to get tickets, because obviously now you will want to get tickets. If you don't, then there must be something wrong with you. And you can't tell me that you can't get tickets, because there are some available, and you can't tell me that it's too far to travel because people from Finland are coming to see this show. So yeah, go to www.pwaonline.info for tickets and anything else you need to know about this show. So yes, as some of you might have noticed, Wrestling Ramblings is trying to go bigger and better by having its own YouTube channel now and its own Facebook page. Some of the reason for this is we are affiliated with The Crunch, and The Crunch website, Facebook page is very much geared towards gaming and gamers and movies and things like that. So I was very much aware that there's so much wrestling content that it would fill the page up and there wouldn't be enough room for all the other stuff. So it was decided to put Wrestling Ramblings and all the wrestling stuff on its own separate page. I'll still post this on the Crunch site, but it will also be on its own dedicated Facebook page as well. However, there's just so much great wrestling out there at the moment in the UK, and I just cannot cover it all of this one little show. So that's another reason why I've got the channel, is so I can showcase as much to you, the fans, as I can of all the UK wrestling talent, up from Scotland Wrestling Scottish Wrestling Alliance, Insane Championship Wrestling, all the way down to Preston City Wrestling, all the way down to PWA Wrestling. All the promotions that I can contact and get in touch with and find information about, I will let you know and have information and website addresses and promo videos and everything I can find out myself. I will stick on this page. If it isn't on this page, then it's probably a chance that I haven't been able to. It just isn't happening. It isn't out there, or for want of a better word, it isn't publicised enough that I haven't been able to get the information. In which case, I'm sorry. These promotions are probably doing a fantastic job, but if they haven't got information that I can hand out, then I can't show you the public. So yeah. But I want to show everyone in the UK that there is great wrestling on their doorstep, and you don't necessarily need to always look at WWE and TNA. You can just go out to your local sports centre or rugby club or something like that, or even sports hall, and you'll find wrestling. There may even be a training school in your area if you live in the southwest. I know for a fact that LEP have got a training school in Torquay, and also you've got the training school for PWA training school, which comes from Brickfields in Plymouth. All the information can be found on their websites. So yeah, there's so much out there. Also, I hopefully will be making specials every so often on this channel. That will be basically short interviews with random UK talent. Also, I'll be doing a new series called Life Behind the Curtain, which will be a series of interviews with the promoters of the company, of promotions from around the country, and finding out what drives them to put these shows together and what goes on into bringing you, the fans, the shows you love seeing. So yeah, this is all stuff to come. So there is going to be lots of things coming your way over the next few weeks and months, and I hope you all enjoy it. And yeah, as long as everyone's cooperative and everyone's happy for me to do this, I will keep doing it, and I will hopefully bring you a lot of decent stuff. And yeah, so there you go. Until next time, I hope everyone's enjoyed this show. I hope everyone enjoys WrestleMania. I will be watching it live. If anyone wants my opinions as it's happening, I may be updating Facebook as the matches go on. If anything random happens, I will probably comment on it. So yes, please like the page if you want to hear random stuff. I haven't got Twitter yet. The Wrestling Ramblings doesn't have Twitter yet, but we might get it soon. If not, I might update the Crunch Twitter if you've got that. So yeah, hope you enjoy WrestleMania, hope you enjoyed this show, and I shall speak to you all next week when we will discuss and talk about the fallout of WrestleMania and what's on in the Southwest. So yeah, until then, take care and bye bye.